Come on, cheer up and I'll tell you a story. Hello everybody, welcome back to Minecraft The Journey with me, BugmanCX, here in Minecraft Release 1.0. Did you see that silverfish spawn? I have placed so many torches around this place just to stop those things from spawning. I feel like I'm going to have to break the spawner, but I sort of don't want to do that. We're in the end portal room because in the last episode, we slayed the dragon, that pesky dragon that was annoying nobody, and we went to its dimension and killed it. Yes, that's what we do here in the game. There are a few things about the end dimension that we covered in the last episode and a few things that we still are yet to cover. In Beta 1.9 Pre-Release 5, there were some changes made to the achievements tree, and here, as you can see, we've got all these new achievements that were added, and also some down here. This one is called The End, Locate the End, and this one is called The End, Requires the End. I was supposed to get these when I entered the end in the episode where we killed the dragon, but unfortunately that didn't happen. And the reason it didn't happen is because my statistics and achievements information got reset because of the way Minecraft works in these early days. It's just very annoying. So we are going to dive right into the end here and get these achievements and complete our tree. Achievement get the end. As you can see, I've been working on this portal area right here, the landing pad, which is the obsidian platform here. And I've added in some stairs so you can take these stairs up to the main end dimension. Hello, Enderman. And I've also got a path running around the edges here, but it's a bit drab. I need to do something with that in the future. Through this way, I've also been working on a replacement Enderman farm. Let me show you what's going on down there. Up here we have a 3 by 2.5 little tunnel here. I haven't finished the roof yet, but this should prevent Endermen from spawning. In fact, they can't spawn here because these are slabs anyway, so it's pretty safe. And as you can see, Endermen are spawning up on this platform up here. Uh-oh, this was a mistake. I shouldn't be looking at them. I should probably do something about that and make things a little bit safer. There's so many of them. Oh gosh. Is it safe? Okay, let's just... it's not safe. It's not safe. You. Okay, let's collect ourselves. Right, let's not look up there. I probably should make it a bit more Enderman proof, but I wanted to see them spawning in as I went up here. So if we go underneath, we've got the same build style that I built the last time that we were here, with this room up the back, and right above us are where all the Endermen are spawning in. So if we head in here, you can see I've got a whole bunch of chests here now with this new chest stacking method where you can have chests on top of chests, which I love. And this is where we can just drop in ender pearls or whatever else we need. And over on this side, I've gone and fished out another one of these end portal blocks from the Beta 1.6 test build 3 chests and plonked it down here so that we can actually return to the nether straight from here without having to go back to the end portal, return end portal, which is way over there. Up here at the top, this is the spawning platform. So here I can just look at all of the Endermen and they'll all make their way over to me like this. Wow, look at them all come. And in doing this, they'll fill up these 2 killing chambers below me here. As you can see, they're all very busy. And then I just head back down. And there we go. We can just slay away. And for our final achievement in the achievement tree, we need to come over here to the return exit end portal, whatever you call it, the one that takes us back to the main world that was left behind when we slayed the Ender Dragon. Now, in the achievements tree, if we go down here, we can see that the criteria says the end, defeat the Ender Dragon, but you don't actually get this achievement when you defeat the Ender Dragon. You get it when you jump into the portal. What else is interesting about this particular achievement was that in Beta 1.9 Pre-Release 5, when this achievement was added in, the icon for it was actually a mob spawner. And the reason for that is that the dragon egg didn't exist yet. So in this version, it's been changed and the icon is now the dragon egg. So what do we need to do to activate this? Just jump through the portal. And we get our achievement. Now, as we know, when you jump through the portal, you get this, the end poem, and we'll be coming onto that momentarily. But for now, you just press escape And you go back to, well, in this case, world spawn, because obviously I didn't set my spawn properly. What is the story behind this end poem? Well, the addition of the Ender Dragon boss battle is now the official way to win Minecraft, which seems kinda strange since Minecraft's an endless sandbox open world game with limitless possibilities. Even when you win or finish the game in this way, it's not really over. You keep going, building and playing. But Notch had decided that the game needed a way to conclude, to bring the game to a close for players who managed to complete it. He wanted to add some kind of text to wrap up the game, but writing isn't his strength, so he put the request out to Twitter. This feat would eventually go to Julian Goff, a British lyricist, singer, poet and writer. Notch and Julian had met once before at BIG, the Berlin Indie Games Festival, but it was fans of both of their work that actually brought them together. In his own words, Julian says, "I didn't realise this then. One of the people I'd met was Marcus Persson, aka Notch. At the time, he was just a guy in a hat working on a new game. Then, in 2011, the completed version of the game was about to be launched in Las Vegas, and they still didn't have an ending. So Marcus tweeted a request saying, 'Does anyone know any talented writers? Famous would be a bonus.' A couple of people who must have known us both from BIG recommended me because they'd read my fiction, so I got an email which I was not expecting saying, 'Would you like to write a high quality piece of narrative for the end of this game, Minecraft? Basically, you can do whatever you like, surprise me.' Which was an amazing open brief. It was only much later that I realised that this was the guy in the hat I'd met 2 years earlier. I don't know if he remembered me, he just tweeted. Julian sent Notch a copy of one of his short stories. Notch read it and knew he'd found his guy, so he tweeted out to announce it to the world, of course, which was the Notch way of doing things. Notch's brief for this was completely open. Julian said, "Yeah, this was the opposite of the usual game writing experience, and that, I think, was what Marcus wanted. I didn't have to explain where the dragons came from, he just wanted me to do something interesting and original, because it's a very interesting and original game, and he wanted something that people weren't expecting at the end." Julian hadn't seen or played Minecraft since BIG, so he downloaded a copy and immersed himself in the world. He recognised that through survival Minecraft, the player themselves is the hero of the game, and so he said that he wanted a dreamy kind of feeling, like you'd broken through something. When you're playing Minecraft in survival mode, you're performing a quest that is difficult and takes a long time. I felt that at the end of the quest there should be some moment of enlightenment, some ambiguous wisdom, that you should have something to bring back, and you should feel you've broken through into some other level. And so he came up with the idea of this dreamy overheard dialogue of two beings speaking, which gives you the sense that the universe itself was talking to you. But as mysterious as it is, and as much as it's imparting the wisdom of the universe upon you, Julian wanted to add another layer of mystery to it, which is why some of the words are obscured. It contains in some ways most of the wisdom I had accumulated up to that point in my life, everything I thought it might be useful for the player to know or be reminded of. But at several points, the text talks about things the player doesn't know about themselves, about the universe. And those parts are glitched, unreadable. I wrote that unreadability into the narrative. I asked Notch to code it so that some parts could not be read. Many of the questions I get are about those parts of the end poem, the parts where it seems about to give you some secret knowledge of the universe, but it crackles and blurs and is gone. When Julian had finished, he sent a copy over to Notch, who loved it. Notch didn't change a word. And for an end of game screen, it's long, around 1500 words and 9 minutes of scrolling, but that's how Notch wanted it. Notch made it impossible to speed up because he wanted everyone to read it. Players responded to this with mixed feelings. It's deep and cryptic and unexpected. Some loved it and some hated it. It was the player community themselves that ended up calling it the end poem. But as nice as it was for Minecraft to now have its own end poem, the story behind it only gets uglier from here. I won't go into all of the details because you can read about that on Julian's blog, but let's just say no agreement was ever properly made about using this poem, and despite it being added to the game for Minecraft's release, Julian was never compensated at the time. He never signed away the rights. In fact, despite many conversations, most of them managed badly, this loose end never got sorted out. Goff was eventually paid $20,000 by Mojang, but that was only in exchange for his time. The copyright to the text was never given over. But the whole thing turned into a big debacle when a certain big company with lots of money turned up to buy Mojang and the rights to Minecraft. This was a big loose end, and it was holding up the Microsoft deal. Julian was once again being pressured to sign away his full rights to the story, but he never caved in and nothing was ever signed. The Microsoft deal went through regardless. Julian still owned all the rights, and yet Microsoft was now using this in a multi-million-dollar best-selling game. Years passed, and after the legal status of this story was left in limbo, Julian decided that the right thing to do was release the poem to the community. This would remove both Julian and Microsoft from any ambiguity over the whole use of this poem. In 2022, Julian released the end poem under a public domain license. Microsoft was now free to use it however they wished, but now, so is everyone else. Following the end poem is the game's credits. As we expect, it's a list of all of the people who worked on it and contributed to it. Notch and Jeb, C418, Christopher for his paintings and artwork, and Julian Goff for the end game narrative. We also get a lot of behind the scenes people, and under additional programming we see Paul Spooner for his big trees, Scavelus for some of the game's optimizations that we've seen, and Hippopotamus for the pistons that were added in Beta 1.7. And at the end of the credits we get this quote: 20 years from now you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones that you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbour, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. And this quote is attributed to Mark Twain, except it wasn't Mark Twain that said it. This quote actually comes from the author H. Jackson Brown Jr.'s mother, and it's from a book of her quotes named P.S. I Love You. During an August 2012 snapshot, this quote credit is changed to unknown. Once you've defeated the Ender Dragon out here in the end, there's not very much use for it. I mean, I've built an Enderman farm off in the distance over there, but as for the main End Island, it's just here, collecting Enderman. You can't respawn the dragon again over and over until release 1.9, so right now there's just nothing going on out here. So I thought, why not take advantage of the barren terrain and build ourselves a little moon base? The moon doesn't have any atmosphere, so I'm probably going to need to make... Yeah, I didn't think I had very much glass. A few little glassy domes for little habitable regions, and I'll bring loads of dirt and things like that and create some little farms. There's probably all sorts of different materials I need, but instead of carrying everything ourselves, I wonder if there's a better way we can bring it all to the moon in one go. This is a great idea. I knew I'd get my money's worth back on this one day. Alright, we're all packed. The cargo hold is pretty full. Let's just do some final checks and make sure everything is ready before we go. Yep, everything's looking good and secure there. We've got the living space, everything looking good. Up here to the control center. Whoa, there we go. Oh yeah, all the levers that we need to get ourselves where we're going. I say we're ready. Look at that! It looks like both me and the rocket have made it in one piece, so let's go down and scout around exactly where I think we'll build this thing. So the rocket has landed us here on the sort of corner of the End Island. Let's go back here and take a bit of a look. No damage at all. That was a perfect landing. So I'm thinking just out beyond the rocket, out in this main island area, what I'll do is start building some circles where I'll create some living quarters, and then I need to plant some crops and start getting some lunar crops growing. But the first thing that I want to do is let's find somewhere nice out here, like this little section over here. I'm going to replace that block with some dirt. And we're going to plant ourselves our very first lunar tree. When suddenly, a moon base appeared. That's right, we now have a huge moon base up here, I suppose on the moon, complete with a couple of domes, as you can see. Let's go inside and check it out. As you come here through the front door, you enter the airlock. But this doesn't really work properly because of this stupid double door, double pressure plate bug. I hope they fix that soon. Let's go into the main living area, and I'll show you around. As you can see, we're inside a huge dome here. Obviously, inside the dome, we have atmosphere, and actually this here is the condenser, which provides us that atmosphere. I have no idea how it works, but it does. It provides us all the livable oxygen we need. Through here, we've got kitchen area to prepare meals and do other work. Over this side, a little living area to enjoy and relax. Over here, we have the communications array because you got to stay in touch with somebody when you're on the moon, and this is where you can do that. Some storage over here and some extra areas for cooking here. I think this thing is the central heating system for the moon base because you obviously need warmth to survive while you're up on the moon. Up here we have a ladder as well, and this takes us up to a little second level area where we've got some additional overflow storage for the moon base, and here you can actually see the layout of this zone here. Popping back down to the floor, on this side and this side we have a couple of living areas. Through here is one living quarters, as you can see, with a little bed. Now, you don't want to use this bed because just like the nether, it will explode up here in the end dimension, so these are really just for show. But as you can see, this is quite a comfortable living space for somebody to live in. On the other side, across the hall, we have another set of living quarters. Let's have a peek inside. A little bit of a different layout, but much the same, really. And around the back of this, by the entranceway here, we have possibly the most important room in the entire place. The head. Oh, I forgot to install a toilet. I better do that. That's what this little room is, because everybody needs a toilet. Through the back here, we have an extra little area tucked away on the back with a nether portal, because from the Beta 1.6 test build 3 chests, I'm able to obtain these nether portal blocks and place them down anywhere in the world. And this will actually transport me back to the nether, to whatever the corresponding coordinates are in the nether. It won't form a nether portal or anything like that. It'll just teleport me. Maybe I can demonstrate that a little bit later on. But back out here up on the roof, we have a bit of a ventilation shaft or something like that. Up there is a communications satellite receiver thing, which is broadcasting my messages out into space. And through this way, we have a couple of things. Here we have the livestock area because we need our food and other, well, I guess they are only good for food, aren't they? The little pigs. We can make up some. So, oh, you gave me no food. We can get ourselves some pork chops here because we have the spawner, which we've brought through from the main world. Excuse me. And through here as well, we're able to bring chickens up here because chickens lay eggs, and from eggs we can create chickens. Oh, well, not in that case, but we definitely can. And that's just one way of bringing a mob from the main world to the end dimension legitimately. Here we have a doorway going out the back. And out the back, I didn't mention it before, but oh no, these things are such menaces. Around the back here, we have, I better get rid of you first. We have, oh no. Now, where was I? We have a water tower here, just in case we need some fresh water to be fed into the moon base here. Past the communications array, we have this corridor here. I showed you that. Here we have a little farm area to grow all of our crops, and this is under some sunlight here. You can imagine these are heat lamps or light lamps ready to help grow the crops. We have pumpkins and melons and some wheat. Through this way, we have another passageway leading to another dome, and this one is the Arboretum. This is a little area which has got lots of different plants from the main world, a couple of trees as well, and just a nice place to hang around and enjoy. Through this way, a little further, we have another passageway which takes us back to the main world portal, and at the end of this corridor here, if you go out of this door, I suppose I should have breathing apparatus if this were a true moon, but we have access to this portal, which of course takes us home. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed hearing about one of Minecraft's stories from a slightly different perspective than normal. If you enjoyed the episode, then feel free to let me know in the comments below, or click the links down in the description to join my Discord or support me on Patreon. Anything like that would be amazing. I want to say a huge thank you to my patrons for supporting me, and I will see everybody in the next episode. So until then, this has been BugmanCX. You've been watching Minecraft The Journey on the Moon. Bye-bye. Can I just do my thing in peace?